This male is named Ecommen, a name that means the only one. This name is given to dogs that are born alone in a litter. He is 1 year and 8 months old. He is a true Aboriginal mountain wolfhound. For the first year and a half of his life, he lived in the highlands alongside a shepherd. It was there, in the mountains, that I once filmed him. He had just turned 1 year old at that time.
Я его ночью до утра пускаю.
Да, спокойно ходит, да?
Он там у чабана был, да?
Да. У меня, да, я тебе фотографию даже сейчас покажу.
He is a remarkably large male. His weight is approximately 65 kilograms, and his height is roughly 83 centimeters, no less. He is currently shedding. After the shedding, he will look even more impressive.
Нет, чёт красивый, да, он вот красивый.
Он сейчас линяет, значит, полиняет,
Да.
потом красивый будет. Он сейчас...
The owner's name is Hassan. He is a man of immense experience with over 30 years of practice behind him. This is a matter of great significance. Of course, all fundamental qualities are passed down genetically. Yet it very often happens that the same dog, under different owners, behaves quite differently, at least in terms of fighting. With one owner, he may refuse to fight entirely, but once in another's hands, he becomes a completely different animal. It is said that a dog fights in the ring for his owner, and if that bond between man and dog is absent, it can happen that he simply refuses to engage in battle.
Конкретно добрый, вообще пиздец. Екеменушка, единственный. А в холке 83 точно будет вес. Вот этот вес, я думаю, а и 65 точно будет. Чтобы больше не сказать, скажу меньше 65 точно будет, если не 67. Молодой он. 2 года ему вот-вот будет, скорее всего. Вряд ли даже есть.
He is gentle with people and with small dogs. No aggression at all, nothing but calm. This is a reflection of the way he was raised, within the flock. Having grown up in a pack, he lacks that bloodthirstiness often found in dogs, confined to enclosures and kennels. There is no true interaction between individuals there, and yet the Alabai is by nature a pack animal. If a dog in the flock were prone to cruelty, constantly fighting, injuring those very dogs with whom he is meant to stand against wolves and other predators, such a dog would not be favored by the shepherd. Besides, imagine this. If a dog is accustomed to constant conflict with its own kind, then when facing predators, they will not be able to fully stand their ground due to their injuries. Disputes between packs do arise, but they never reach such a brutal, exhausting frequency. The only exception comes when the time of heat arrives in females. That is when battles erupt within the flock, fights of life and death. Sometimes they even end in death.
Сейчас четко все, да?
Вот этот шрам, видишь?
Да.
Вот это вот так, все вот так порвал нахуй.
Как овчарка дерется, да?
Тот как схватил,
Да.
он еще взрослый.
А-а-а.
И этот... Ничего не скулил, ничего. А тебе потом отпустил, он это схватил его. Не так нормально. А... Того 2-3 раза он пиздец заскулил. Он 3-4 раза я с ним травил. Я думаю, хуйня. Кто-то, наверное, бросил, не понравился тому-то. Тот здоровый, вот такой собака.
Да.
Hassan recounts that recently Ecommen fought with a large Alabai. The other male was older. He left Ecommen with numerous wounds on his head, but Ecommen did not give up and forced his opponent to yelp in submission.
Кайфует. Яке? Короче, получается, он единственный в помете был, да, раз Екемен?
Знаю, но я ранее знаю.
Обычно так бывает.
Hassan says he keeps him without a tether. He has no fear. He knows this dog will not harm a small dog, nor a child, nor a person. When a dog encounters different situations when it is free, its mind develops and it gains life experience. One situation after another leaves within it a vast depth of experience. Therefore, a dog that lives freely without a tether, its perspective and its mind are far broader than those of dogs that are taken out for just half an hour or an hour and spend the rest of their time in enclosures. He has never kept dogs that way.
Только вечером кормишь его?
Да я его он чашки вот стоит, там плов,
Да.
постоянно стоит, чтобы это не было. Я его норму, у меня такой, норму.
Once he lived in the mountains. There in the highlands, he grew up within a pack, guarding the flock against predators, knowing the scent of the wolf and the breath of the wind over the pastures. Together with the shepherd, they formed a single whole. Man, dogs, sheep, mountains. But the fold disbanded. The shepherd grew old, sold his sheep, and gave the dogs away. That is how Ekemen found himself in the city. He arrived here large, powerful, but without malice, because a true mountain wolfhound knows nothing of senseless cruelty. In a pack, the one who fights for the sake of fighting becomes a burden. Injured dogs cannot stand against a wolf. Everything he absorbed in the mountains shaped him not only into a strong dog, but into a wise one. Today, he lives without a tether beside a man who understands him. Hassan is an old dog breeder with vast experience. He knows freedom gives a dog not only strength, but also a mind. Every encounter, every situation leaves its mark upon the dog, expands its horizons, shapes its character. Ecommen is calm with people, tolerant of small dogs. But when the moment calls for it, he can show what true will and grip truly mean.
Много видишь, гуляешь с тем, дрешься, что, тогда уже начинаешь понимать, мозги начинаются работать, что к чему. А когда всегда дома один сидишь, нихуя ничего не видишь, ничего не понимаешь.
Пиздец, да.
Жизнь
Тупеешь, да?
Hassan had a male dog named Gaplan who lived for 13 or 14 years. This Gaplan was the son of the famous Kyrgyzstan, the strongest Central Asian dog in history. To this day, his blood continues to fight. Gaplan, who belonged to Hassan, was born from an accidental mating that was not planned. It so happened that the female, Kyrgyzstan's daughter, belonged to a neighbor. During her heat, she jumped over the fence and was bred by Kyrgyzstan. Both Kyrgyzstan and his daughter were free from any faults. The puppies from this litter turned out to be sound in structure, excellent, and remarkably powerful. It was an exceptionally strong litter.
Этот зал, Гердекарис,
С того помета.
да,
А,
вот он
там, по-моему, ушел же он куда-то, тот, по-моему, кого он взял. По-моему, продали куда-то его.
Что-то они вот так.
Вроде бы, да. Точно не знаем, но вроде бы.
The Alabai is not a fighting breed. It is a shepherd breed, an Aboriginal dog shaped over centuries in the harsh conditions of Central Asia, in the mountains, in the desert, in the foothills, to protect the flock from wolves and other predators. Its qualities are not aggression for the sake of aggression, but wisdom, restraint, and the ability to work in harmony with other dogs and with man. The pit bull, the Tosa Inu, and other fighting breeds are the result of human-driven selection, artificial selection, where man intentionally crossed different dogs to fix desired traits. The Alabai, on the other hand, is a product of natural selection. It is an Aboriginal breed, shaped not in kennels, but in the harsh, natural environment. In a kennel, man can nurse a sick or weak animal, feed it artificially, provide it with sheltered conditions. And then such an animal may produce weak offspring. In the natural environment, this does not happen. There, mistakes are not forgiven. Neither anatomical flaws, nor poor health, nor a weak constitution. Nature itself calls everything weak. And here is what truly matters. No other breed, whether pit bull, Tosa Inu, or any other, can withstand our climatic conditions. I am not even speaking of working in the mountains or the desert, facing wolves and predators. They simply could not endure the very way of life here. During the day, the air temperature reaches plus 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit. In such heat, any fighting dog bred by man would simply die of heat stroke after just 10 minutes outside. Yet the Alabai lives in this climate, breathes this air, and remains strong. This is precisely why the Aboriginal stock formed through natural means in a natural environment is extraordinarily strong. And this sets the Alabai apart, fundamentally different from dogs bred by man solely for the fighting pit. What is called an Alabai today on social media and on YouTube is, in 99 cases out of 100, nothing more than a pathetic imitation. Cropped ears and a docked tail do not make a Central Asian dog, because the true breed is not born in kennels, under artificial ventilation, where one can nurse a weak animal, feed a sick one, and turn a blind eye to flaws. Nature does not forgive flaws. There, where the Alabai was shaped over centuries, in the mountains of Turkmenistan, in the sands of the Karakum, the weak do not survive. The sick do not survive. The cowardly do not survive. Natural selection knows no mercy, and that is precisely what made the Central Asian dog what it is. Strong, not through aggression, but through wisdom, and through the very breath of the land that gave it birth. Any other breed, the pit bull, the Tosa Inu, or any other created by man, and in most cases it is all about commerce, such dogs can only exist in comfortable conditions. In our climate, they would simply die after 10 minutes under the sun that heats the air to 50 degrees. Yet the Alabai lives in this inferno. He breathes it. He is part of this land.